Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program, where we bring you a roundup of some of the most compelling stories from around the globe, blending the worlds of business, politics, and innovation. Let's dive into the whirlwind of events shaping our narrative today. In a surprising twist in the business world, Hong Kong's apparel giant Giordano finds itself in the midst of a leadership shakeup, with CEO Peter Lau ousted by shareholders. Meanwhile, the financial sector in China faces a clampdown on speculative trading, shaking the $250 billion quant sector to its core. Across the Pacific, Canada's democratic integrity is questioned with revelations of China's alleged interference in its general election. From corporate boardrooms in Hong Kong to the quant trading floors of China and the political corridors of Canada, we're witnessing an intricate dance of power, finance, and governance. But that's not all. In Texas, a dairy worker's contraction of bird flu marks a rare human case in the U.S., spotlighting the unpredictable nature of viruses. Tesla eyes India for a new electric vehicle manufacturing plant, signaling a significant boost for sustainable transportation solutions. And Hertz's electrification strategy faces a rocky road, highlighting the challenges of transitioning to electric vehicles. From health scares to the automotive industry's electric dreams, these stories underscore the unpredictable nature of innovation and the complexities of the business world. Lastly, we turn our attention to the ongoing debate over ID cards in the UK, international intrigue in Canada, and the diminishing freedoms in Hong Kong. These narratives, ranging from migration issues to the challenges of standing up against human rights violations, illustrate the delicate balance between security and liberty. As we navigate these complex issues, the importance of thoughtful dialogue and informed decision-making has never been clearer. So, as we wrap up today's roundup, we've traversed from corporate upheavals and financial regulations to the intricacies of international politics and the challenges of innovation. Each story, while unique, underscores the interconnectedness of our world and the ongoing struggle for balance in the face of change. Please stay tuned for detailed coverage of these stories and more. In a dramatic turn of events that has captured the attention of the business world, Hong Kong's Giordano International, a renowned apparel company, found itself at the center of a significant leadership shakeup. As reported by Nikkei Asia, the company's shareholders, led by the family of tycoon Cheng, voted with a resounding 66% majority to oust CEO Peter Lau. This move underscores the intense pressure the company has been under due to declining earnings, with the Cheng family, the largest shareholder, pushing for change amidst a challenging real estate market in China. In a bold step towards a new direction, Colin Curry, a seasoned executive with a history at Adidas, has been appointed to take the helm, signaling a new chapter for Giordano in these turbulent times. Meanwhile, the world of finance in China is undergoing its own upheaval. The Financial Times sheds light on the significant challenges facing the country's $250 billion quant sector, as regulatory clampdowns on speculative trading force a major strategy overhaul. Authorities, pointing fingers at the quant funds for exacerbating market volatility, have introduced restrictions that have left firms like Lingjun Investment and High Flyer Capital Management scrambling to adjust their sophisticated trading algorithms. This regulatory squeeze threatens to put an end to the era of sky-high returns, prompting a re-evaluation of the very foundation upon which these funds have built their success. Across the Pacific, the integrity of Canada's democratic process has come under scrutiny, with a shocking revelation from the New York Times about China's alleged interference in the 2021 general election. A top-secret intelligence report has unveiled efforts by the Chinese government to target Canadian politicians perceived as unfriendly towards Beijing, employing media campaigns to spread disinformation. This alarming breach has sparked outrage and concern over the vulnerability of Canada's democratic institutions. Testimonies from Canadian politicians, who found themselves in the crosshairs of Beijing's covert operations, have highlighted the challenges of standing up for human rights and other sensitive issues in the face of foreign influence. The discovery that intelligence officials were aware of these meddling efforts but failed to notify the affected politicians has added a layer of dismay to the unfolding scandal. These narratives, spanning the globe from Hong Kong's corporate boardrooms to the quant trading floors of China and the political corridors of Canada, illustrate the complex interplay of power, finance, and governance in today's interconnected world. Each story, while unique in its setting and characters, shares a common theme of upheaval and adaptation in the face of external pressures and challenges. As these entities navigate their respective crises, the outcomes of their struggles will undoubtedly leave an indelible mark on the landscape of international business and politics. In a surprising turn of events from Texas, reported by Yahoo US, a dairy worker has contracted bird flu, marking only the second such case in the United States. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, this instance of the highly pathogenic avian influenza H5N1 virus, first identified among birds in China in 1996, is believed to have been transmitted from sick cattle to the human. While the CDC reassures that the risk of human-to-human transmission remains low, the spread of the virus to other animals, including polar bears, raccoons, and striped skunks, as noted by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, highlights the unpredictable nature of this virus. Meanwhile, the Financial Times brings an exciting development from the automotive world, where Tesla is actively exploring the Indian landscape to set up a proposed $2 billion to $3 billion electric vehicle (EV) manufacturing plant. This strategic move follows New Delhi's decision to lower tariffs on higher-priced imported EVs, a change Tesla had advocated for as a precondition to its investment in India. This potential investment is seen as a significant boost for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, especially with the general election on the horizon. Tesla's interest in India underscores the country's growing importance in the global EV market and its commitment to sustainable transportation solutions. However, not all ventures into the EV market have been met with success, as Bloomberg's examination of Hertz's ambitious electrification strategy reveals. Emerging from bankruptcy in June 2021, Hertz placed a massive bet on electric vehicles, ordering 100,000 Teslas and partnering with Uber to supply EVs to its drivers. Initially, this bold move seemed to pay off, with the company's IPO in November 2021 valuing Hertz at a staggering $15.3 billion. But the reality of the EV market, including challenges such as range anxiety, the scarcity of charging infrastructure, and high maintenance costs, soon caught up with Hertz. By early 2024, it became clear that the strategy had backfired spectacularly, leading to a tripling of the company's depreciation costs to $2 billion in 2023 and a decision to unload 20,000 EVs. The company's shares plummeted 74% since the IPO, leaving Hertz in a precarious position and its new CEO, Gil West, with the daunting task of steering the company back to profitability. These stories, from the spread of bird flu in Texas to Tesla's potential expansion into India, and Hertz's troubled bet on electric vehicles, highlight the unpredictable nature of innovation and the complex interplay of health, technology, and business in today's world. Each narrative provides a unique insight into the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead as society navigates the ever-changing landscape of the 21st century. In the bustling corridors of public discourse, a letter featured in the Telegraph has reignited the debate over the introduction of ID cards in the UK, particularly as a measure to manage the ongoing crisis of migrants crossing the English Channel. The writer passionately argues that the absence of a mandatory ID requirement has turned the UK into a more attractive destination for migrants, allowing them to vanish into the shadows upon arrival. By mandating ID cards, the UK could not only make migrants traceable but also significantly curb the perilous journeys undertaken by many in hope of a better life. This proposal, the letter suggests, could pave the way for a more controlled and humane migration policy, ensuring safety and legality for genuine migrants and asylum seekers. Conversely, another voice in the Telegraph raises a banner of caution against this proposal, weaving concerns around civil liberties and the potential for data misuse. The opposition to ID cards centers on the fear of draconian enforcement measures, the distraction it could cause the police from their primary duties, and the vulnerability of the ID card database to cyber attacks. This perspective underscores a deep worry about privacy infringement and the potential exploitation of personal data by nefarious actors, from contractors to organized crime groups. Shifting the lens to Canada, the Toronto Star reports a tale of international intrigue and alleged intimidation that seems ripped from the pages of a spy novel. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, found themselves at a crossroads in their investigation into claims that the Chinese government was attempting to intimidate Conservative MP Michael Cheng and his family. Despite the gravity of the allegations, which led to the expulsion of a Chinese diplomat, the investigation hit a dead end, leaving more questions than answers. This incident underscores the complex and shadowy nature of international relations and the challenges faced by individuals standing up against human rights violations. Meanwhile, Nikkei Asia casts a somber light on the diminishing freedoms in Hong Kong, a city once celebrated for its vibrant autonomy and economic dynamism. The narrative unfolding in Hong Kong serves as a stark illustration of China's prioritization of national security over economic prosperity. The enforcement of Article 23, aimed at quelling espionage, treason, and foreign interference, has not only stifled freedoms but also instilled a climate of fear and uncertainty among global investors and the citizens of Hong Kong. The closure of the US-funded Radio Free Asia's Hong Kong bureau epitomizes the chilling effect of these policies on media freedom. This tightening grip has prompted a significant exodus from the city, signaling distressing implications for Hong Kong's economy and, by extension, China's global economic engagements. Together, these narratives from the Telegraph, the Toronto Star, and Nikkei Asia weave a complex tapestry of global challenges, from migration and personal freedoms to international relations and economic policies. They highlight the delicate balance between security and liberty, the intricacies of global diplomacy, and the profound impact of governmental decisions on individual lives and societal well-being. As these discussions continue to unfold, they underscore the need for thoughtful consideration and dialogue in navigating the intricate web of modern-day challenges. In a recent development that has caught the attention of the global meat industry, Nikkei Asia reported a significant shift in the U.S. beef import landscape. The U.S. quota for low-tariff beef imports was swiftly consumed by the end of February, marking the fastest pace since 2020. Suppliers from Japan and Brazil were quick on their feet, securing their shares and effectively filling the 65,005-ton limit by February 27. This rapid fulfillment of the import quota, which resets annually on January 1, has left many in the industry startled. Particularly for Japan, this development poses a considerable challenge in promoting its premium Wagyu beef in the U.S. market for the remainder of the year, as any further imports will now incur significantly higher tariffs. In another corner of the financial world, Nikkei Asia spotlighted an ambitious endeavor by 7 central banks and a consortium of private sector lenders to revolutionize international transactions. Dubbed Project Agora, this initiative aims to test the use of tokenized money on a digital ledger to facilitate instant cross-border payments. The project, unveiled by the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, includes heavyweight participants such as the central banks of the UK, France, Japan, Mexico, South Korea, Switzerland, and the US Federal Reserve Bank of New York. By developing an alternative to the SWIFT messaging network, which currently takes up to a week for fund transfers and often accumulates hefty fees, Project Agora seeks to usher in a new era of financial efficiency and connectivity. Meanwhile, in the world of social media and culinary exploration, the Toronto Star has shared exciting news about Keith Lee, a renowned food critic on TikTok with a staggering following of over 16 million. Lee is gearing up for his first-ever international tour, with Toronto set as his next destination. known for his genuine reviews and the profound impact they can have on local eateries, Lee is currently on the lookout for restaurant suggestions. He aims to dive into the heart of Toronto's culinary scene, focusing on small family-owned shops and establishments that showcase the city's diverse food culture. However, his upcoming visit has stirred mixed feelings among locals. While some eagerly anticipate the spotlight Lee could shine on hidden gems, others express concern over the potential overcrowding and long lines his reviews might generate. Despite these worries, Lee remains committed to his discreet approach, often sending team members to pick up food orders to maintain anonymity and ensure his reviews remain unbiased. These stories, ranging from the intricacies of international beef trade and financial innovation to the influential power of social media on local businesses, highlight the interconnectedness of our global landscape. Whether it's the impact of tariff quotas on premium beef exports, the quest for more efficient cross-border payments, or the ability of a single food critic to transform the fortunes of small eateries, each narrative underscores the dynamic and ever-evolving nature of our world. In a world that seems to be constantly on the edge of its seat with economic fluctuations and geopolitical tensions, recent developments have caught the attention of many. From the bustling streets of Wall Street to the political corridors of Canada, and across to the green energy debates in Europe, let's dive into a whirlwind of events that are shaping our global narrative. Shifting gears to the political arena, the Globe and Mail brings to light allegations that could ruffle more than a few feathers in Canada. Aaron O'Toole, the former Conservative leader, has thrown a spotlight on what he describes as a disinformation campaign orchestrated by China and its proxies. According to O'Toole, this campaign played a significant role in the 2021 Canadian election, costing the Conservative Party up to 9 seats. He accuses the campaign of being specifically designed to counter the party's tough stance on China. What's more, O'Toole claims that government officials, tasked with safeguarding election integrity, were aware of the interference but remained silent. This revelation, if true, could have far-reaching implications for the integrity of democratic processes. Crossing over to Europe, Bloomberg reports on a new challenge facing Chinese solar firms, as the European Union (EU) tightens its grip on foreign subsidies. The EU has launched investigations into bids by Chinese companies for a Romanian solar park, probing whether Enivo Group and Longi Solar Technology have violated EU laws. These laws are designed to prevent state-funded companies from leveraging their financial power to edge out European rivals. This move by the EU reflects a growing concern over the potential for Chinese firms to undercut European clean tech industries. With the possibility of additional tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles on the horizon, this development underscores the tension between global economic cooperation and competition. These stories, each unfolding in different corners of the world, highlight the complex interplay of economics, politics, and environmental policy in our globalized society. From the trading floors of Wall Street to the political battlegrounds of Canada and the green energy debates in Europe, it's clear that the actions taken in one part of the world can have ripple effects felt far and wide. As we continue to navigate these turbulent waters, the importance of staying informed and engaged with global affairs has never been more apparent. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.